Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Scale Builders Guild. It's Lightroom Live. Looks like we missed a week, but got one out tonight. So welcome everyone. Hope you had a good couple of weeks there. I was busy. I am still busy. Work is definitely kind of busy, which is good. I'm happy to be, busy. I don't have any other words for it. No audio. Okay. As per usual. Um, was that serious or were you joking? If you guys can hear me just fine, let me know. Um, yeah. All right. Funny. That was a good one, Mike. Uh, but if you guys could do me a huge favor, hit the like button and be sure to continue to comment. If you've never seen Lightroom Live before, it's where we are doing some Lightroom tutorials in Adobe Lightroom. We're taking photos that you guys have submitted, and you can submit your own photos, submissions at scalebuildersguild.com. It is in the description below. And we just kind of go through photos and I talk a little bit about the truck as I'm doing a photo and make them look better, and then I send them back to you. So it's a win-win. Everybody wins. Why don't we get right into it? This first one, the cover photo, the thumbnail image from Pardon My Noob, also known as Turks and Jerps on Instagram. You should definitely follow him if you're not already. He makes some very amazing trucks. This one is no exception to that rule. Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate that. You're going to need a new thumbs up button because I smashed it. By all means, smash away and let me know where you guys are watching from. I always get a kick out of seeing how far away my videos can reach. Dog funk. Richard, we're going to talk all about dog funk tomorrow night on the live takeover with Mr. Harley Designs Incorporated. Dog funk. Hopefully some of you will get that reference. Maybe you won't, and it'll definitely be explained to you tomorrow. Anyway, a very nice truck from Mr. Pardon My Noob. This is a MFAB 3D printed Toyota Tacoma, and a pretty amazing example of a tiny truck. Let's just go full screen on that for a moment. This was shot in Richard's backyard course, Smiggin's Folly. And he is a master of tiny trucks and taking photos of tiny trucks. And this is a really good example. Smiggin's Folly is a very awesome little park to play in. And his tiny trucks look big when you get them there. Everything is really nicely scale accurate. It's pretty amazing. Hey, Justin Art, thanks for checking in. I know you're a Scale Builders Guild forum member. Thanks for all your posts and contributing to the site. First time viewing this type of photo editing live. Looks cool. Pardon my noobness. When am I going to post another Gladiator update? Incoming. There is some stuff happening on that I am not allowed to talk about yet. So there will be an update soon. I promise. All right. Let's get to editing this photo. No crop required. Actually, subtle crop required. And that's just because there's a leaf down here, and I just want to get rid of that leaf a little bit. There we go. The trees, he's done such a great job of manicuring these and keeping them look scale accurate. Believe it or not. It's a very cool place to play in, and if you have a Lexan bodied truck, you have to get a Lexan acceptance sticker or something. Yeah, great paint on this. No kidding, Moose Jaw. The really cool thing about, well, not cool thing, the really difficult thing about these MFAB bodies is that the 3D prints are pretty coarse and it's all PLA. So it requires a ton of finishing work to get it to look as good as Richard got here. Not easy to do by any means, but definitely made it look pretty easy in this photo. I'm just going to bring up the shadows a little bit so we get a little more definition on this side. Fun fact, Richard brazed these sliders himself, and I believe this is on the Hero, the RC four-wheel drive Hero truck. And this is accurate. So IFS front, leaf sprung rear for the tacos. Uh, and yeah, lots of leaf cleanup, I believe. Hi, Jesta RC. Thanks for checking in. Huge fan of yours. You are like my scale build teacher. Keep up the good work. Thanks very much. Appreciate that. It's good to be back, I must say. It feels like I've been away for a little while. And I have been, obviously. Um, I just did a couple of tiny things. I raised our exposure overall. I warmed up our temperature just ever so slightly from where it was. Kept the contrast where it is, but uh, increased or lightened up our shadows and then brought down our whites a little bit. And the whites you'll see affect like just an overall sort of thing, brings the sky into a bit more realm of reality too. I am going to do a grad along the top here, and we're going to keep the saturation right where it was. And we're going to throw a tiny bit more blue up there so we just get a bit more of a blue sky. And that's it for that. Don't need to do too much to that one. Yeah, the time smoothing, Dana, is outrageous on these things. I haven't had to do it yet. Richard's done. Richard's done. Oh wait, yeah, Richard's done both of the MFAB bodies that I've done. So thank you, Richard. Let's do a radial over the truck itself. Maybe pull it in a little bit and keep that saturation nice and warm. Get that green really popping. You would think a green truck on a green background wouldn't really pop, but we're going to make sure that it does. Add a little bit of texture in there and some clarity just to really get that shine on that paint to really pop. And then I think we'll go into our HSLs from here and get the green a bit more saturated overall. And call that done for now. Now we're going to go into the saturation on the orange and bring that up so we get more bronze happening here. Oof, Mike, I could do a video like that where I show you how to smooth a body in the 3D printed realm. In fact, I've got another one sitting in my workshop, so yeah, I certainly could do that at some point in the future. Now, back to HSLs for a minute here. I'm also going to pump up our yellows a little bit. And that's just to kind of help get some more texture into these rocks. I'm going to use our paintbrush tool here and try to paint in a little bit of shadow over here. That's just to help center your eye again. Otboy, yes, I can see your chat. What are you wondering? RC four-wheel drive events still a thing this year? Not that I know of. I can't think of many events that are actually happening this year. Most of them are on hold, from what I know. Just giving this tree here and this tree here a little bit more shadow. And we'll pump a little more shadow up over here too. And then I'm going to go in and do a couple more radials here. No, you're not bothering me at all. That's what this whole thing is here for. I'll answer as many questions as I can. I am trying to focus a bit on the trucks here too. But yes, absolutely, ask away. Always happy to answer your questions. Just going to duplicate this and pull it back here and shrink it down a little bit. Just so we get a little more hit on those tires. Happy little shadows, happy little shadows. Hi, Mark. Thanks for checking in. Much appreciated. I think that's feeling pretty good. I gave it a bit more pink tint overall, just tinted things into the magenta as an overall. But I think that's looking pretty good. Let's do a little before and after here. Before, after. I think we've definitely helped it up a little bit. Let's get a full screen look at that. Man, that's a good looking truck. I'm sure that Richard built it to be fairly scale accurate, so I doubt we're going to see him taking it off any sweet jumps. Before, after. Vidjo, you can't exclude somebody. Noob is excluded from shot of the week. Just not fair with this truck. It's true. It's a pretty great truck, and it might win photo of the week. We'll have to see. Really nice job, Richard. Fantastic job on the truck overall. I'm really happy that you sucked it up and got it done. I know that it was a bit of a challenge at points, but it looks amazing and well-deserved result. Looks really good. Thank you for your submission, Richard, as always. A pleasure. All right, let's look at another one. Is it possible to 3D print a 1/24th Willys Jeep body? I'm sure you could find a 24th scale static model, and then you wouldn't have to print one out. Yeah, good set of rims on this too, Chris? These are the methods, obviously, that they did in the bronze. Look really good. And that tires, KM3 looks really good on there too. All right, so we're voting for second. Yeah, possibly. Now, was it last episode that I was asking for dusk or dark or evening shots? I think it might have been. And I think we got a couple that actually came in over that time. So let's go on to the next one. This one here is from Low Life RC, and looks to be at dusk, trailing in the river. It's obviously fall. Looks pretty good. SCX-10-2. I like the green headlights. Obviously a lot of green in that truck. Zombie Outbreak Response Unit. That's blood. I get it. Very cool. What are the rules of thumb to catch said dusk dawn photos? I try to keep my ISO pretty much in the 1,000 range or lower. If I can get lower, 800 is usually good. I like to go as wide open on my aperture as possible so I still get some depth of field. And usually, like, golden time is usually the best time. So like an hour, 2 hours before sunset. That's when I really like to go out. There is a great Instagram, RC Cinematics. Find that one and check out all of his photos. They're very cool. All right. Let's do some work to this photo first. I was going to try a preset, but I think we're going to start on our own here. One thing I'm going to do right away is get rid of whatever this thing is. Not really sure what it is, but doesn't matter. It's gone now, like it was never there. Let's definitely cool this one off. Well, actually, let's keep the white balance where it is, but we'll tint it a little bit in the magenta realm. I'm going to lower our exposure a little bit because it's already feeling a bit better now that we can see some more of that sky. Sorry, Dana. Yeah, if you've got a mirrorless or digital camera, you can usually go in and fiddle with all those settings, ISO, aperture, frame, shutter speed, all of those things. But it is good to try to, especially if you're going to be shooting at night, the one biggest piece of advice I can give you is to get a tripod. And then either put the camera on a timer or whatever so you're not touching it when you're pressing the shutter. That way you don't introduce any jitter. All those things will help you, 100%. Going to bring in some more saturation into this shot. We'll definitely do radial filter here. Actually, you know what? Instead of a radial filter, I'm going to delete that one. I'm going to use the paintbrush. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint around the truck thusly. keep the saturation where we are, but then I can go in and raise the exposure just of that area. And as you raise the exposure, and this is going to come into play with night shots, it does get a bit grainy. So what you can do is go back and increase your contrast, and that'll help kind of balance that back out. Bring a little clarity to that too. Pull down our highlights. As you can see, it makes it a little bit easier to read that sticker on the front. I like the reflection of the green in the water there. That's pretty cool. I think we'll do a reverse grad from the bottom here. We're gonna pull some blue into that grad as well. I think that looks pretty neat. And we may actually do another one up here too. Really extend this one out to almost right to the truck there. Same thing, blue. And we'll lower the exposure a little bit so we get a really nice dusk-like sky. Amp up our saturation there as well. There we go. Now it's feeling a little more evening-like. That looks pretty cool, actually. Going to go into the HSL here, which is our hue, saturation, and luminance sliders. And I am going to pull back on our green a little bit. Just a touch. And I'll go into our yellows and see if there's any more yellow in there. Little tiny bit. Change the hue on that green a little bit as well. Not too much, because I know that these are green headlights. There we go. I think that's a pretty cool look. It's definitely different from where we were. There's the full screen of it. And before, after. Before, after. I think it looks pretty neat. Thank you very much, Lowlife RC, for your submission. I think it's looking pretty cool. Definitely different, and that was sort of my goal with this one. Try to make it feel more like dusk and more at nighttime, and definitely do something a little bit different and a little original. I like the framing. I gotta say, I would love if the truck were a little bit bigger and maybe a tiny bit more 3/4 of an angle, but overall, pretty cool photo. Definitely appreciate you submitting that one. So thank you very much. All right, let me just look quickly through the comments here, see if I missed anything. Joel, what is the name of the place you've suggested for driver figures? ClassicTVToys.com. That's where I get my drivers. They've got 6-inch drivers, they've got 8-inch drivers, they've even got larger drivers. I think they go all the way up to 12-inch. So those are really great for like the 6th scale builds. The 8-inch figures, when you scale them down in 9th scale, which is what I work at the most, they scale out to be 6 feet tall, which is just about exactly perfect. So that's what I would definitely recommend. What RC car, for this from Tyler Wilson, what RC car do you think would be good for a beginner? I mean, honestly, the TRX4 Sport is a great beginner RTR. SCX-10 or SCX-10 is also really great, especially good for a beginner. It's a lot simpler, much easier to work with. The Enduro Sendero, also a great beginner one. I mean, you can't really go wrong with any of those top 3. What Mike J wants to know what wonder what size figure would scale out to Josh size. 6-inch figure is probably more accurate. Or yeah, a Lego minifig, as Dana suggested as well. All right, let's do another one. How about another night photo? This one from Dana himself, Dana Surratt. Very cool looking JL SCX-10-3 Wrangler Rubicon on the rocks in a RC park, it looks like, and plenty of lights shining through. I've just recently done rock lights for the first time ever on my JT. I've never done them. Um, so this is yeah, this is going to be a good photo. Hope yeah, lots of pixels there. So let's see what we can do here. Let's definitely throw our tint or our temperature more into the blues. It always feels better when blue is at night. I think it looks better than the warmth. This feels like dusk. This feels like night, and we're gonna really try to play that up a little bit too. Probably do something along this lines where the exposure gets reduced quite heavily. See if we can pull our highlights down. Well, actually, we'll leave our highlights kind of where they are. Shadows, I'm going to go back in and do a little more work to as well. Definitely amp up our texture and our clarity. And you can see when you do that, it introduces, with the texture, it introduces more light, which is pretty interesting. I really like what it's doing around the tires and the wheels here, which is pretty cool. I know this is a reflection from the lens of the light bar. I'm going to try my best to get rid of that. I don't think it's going to be a successful venture, but it's worth a try. See, that's not the right way to do it. Delete that. And what do I want to do? Yes, this one here. That actually might work. Look at that. Spectacular, spectacular. And again, brilliant. Pretty happy with how that turned out. Any chance I can hide the palette ramp? Probably not. That's a pretty big erasing. You'll probably have to deal with that just being there. What I could do is throw a grad over it, something like this, and just really knock it back. You still will see it, but it won't be as in your face if that works to your liking. And then I might actually, just for the sake of doing it, I'll do another one from the bottom up to kind of help that as well. Same kind of jazz, just so your eye gets focused a little bit on it. Now, obviously, we're not going to get a ton of detail out of this because it is so dark, but that's the point, right? This is more about creating art than it is about just showing off the truck necessarily. And what I think we've done here is a pretty cool example of how to kind of take a bit of a normal photo and make it feel a bit more dramatic. So let's go full screen for a moment here. I think that looks pretty cool. Before, after. Pretty big improvement in terms of the artistic element of a shot like that. So I think that looks pretty good. Video, the Lightroom Mobile doesn't have like the grad filters. You can't apply a grad like that. Maybe it's time to get a computer. Anyway, Dana, thank you very much for that submission. I think that looks pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that one, actually. If you would like to submit your own photos, by all means, I accept them all. Submissions at scalebuildersguild.com. We have something like 50 plus submissions to get through, which obviously we're not going to get through on all of these tonight. But we'll try to get through a few more. Let's see. Here's another night one. Ray Rasco sent this. Another Wrangler Rubicon. It seems to be the Jeep show tonight. Maybe we'll bookend it with another Toyota. Oh, the edit of the leaf or the light bar. Right. It is called the spot removal tool. Um, and yeah, if you got a Mac, you can certainly run Lightroom on your Mac. Just get Lightroom Classic. There are two different ones. There's a Lightroom and a Lightroom Classic. The Lightroom Classic has a lot more of these kind of photo editing tools. I think what they're doing is they're getting away from this version of it and putting it into Photoshop or just leaving it in Photoshop. Oh, right. Sorry, this is not a Wrangler. It's a JT. It's a Gladiator, and some nice bokeh happening here on the lights. It's really nice. Also got rock lights on it as well. Headlights are beaming. Uh, Looks like he's got a worn winch put on the front there. Ray Rasco, thank you for your submission. Hey, is this a Cobra Kai logo on the side here? Yes, it is, in fact. I've not watched that show. I watched Karate Kid when I was a child. I watched Karate Kid when I was also a kid, but was not in karate. Anyway, let's get to correcting. Love this night sky, this dusk. There's a lot of warmth in there, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but this is a NEF, which I believe is the Nikon RAW format, um, and it's pre-telling me what the temperature and tint was set at when it was shot. So we can go in and we can change that. Obviously, auto, daylight, cloudy, shade, tungsten, fluorescent, flash, custom. We could try cloudy. It's actually pretty nice. Brings a lot more warmth into the tint. But we're still going to go and darken this down a little bit. I don't want to lose too much detail because there is a lot of detail in there, as you can see. So what we'll do is we'll probably lower our exposure, and then I'll go in with my paint tool here and paint some random bits of exposure back in, just so you get a sense of texture underneath, which I think is pretty cool. We can add more texture with the texture button, obviously. Oh wait, sorry. Before I finish with that brush tool, I just want to click on that there and go back into my exposure because it changed the exposure a little bit. So I'm going to go and over saturate that a little bit. No, Mike, no snow filter that I know of. I'm sure you could do a plug-in in Photoshop and add snow in if you wanted to. There we go. Okay, done on that. Texture overall, that's really helping a lot. And some clarity. Just love what these lights are doing. The lens on this camera is great. Obviously, this is some sort of digital SLR. I think it looks pretty good. I hope Ray is watching. It'd be great to have him check in and let us know a little bit about it. Vibrance, let's amp that up a little bit, huh? And then I think we'll do a grad over here and pull our saturation up and exposure down a little bit just to really amp up that sky. And luminance on the red, what can we do there? Not too much without it starting to feel kind of weird. So let's see if we can bring some more saturation into that red. That's feeling pretty good. The one thing Axial kind of did not grade on. Oh, and Ray did add some windshield things. That's nice. That's cool. I wish that they had painted the inside lip of the headlights to be not body color, because they're not body color, especially on a Rubicon. They're gunmetal. So one little tiny thing that I wish they did. Moose Jaw. Hello, Moose Jaw. Gladiator. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here? Spaniard, Spaniard. Ah. That's from the movie Gladiator, if you didn't already know. Anyway, let's do a little paintbrush work on the truck here, just for fun. Just see if we can get that exposure up a little tiny bit more. Not too artificially though. I just want to kind of keep it feeling pretty regular, normal. Dana, no, I didn't really take any training for photo editing. I did do. I went to school for film editing, and yeah. So I mean, I've been a film editor now for 20 years, working full time in that biz. Joey, do you like movies about gladiators? Also, one of my favorite comments. Hi, Robert. How are you? Don't worry about being late, and don't worry about forgetting about the stream. It's been 2 weeks, so not surprised. Some people forgot. It's okay. Um, Timp RC mentioned a snow filter. I don't. There might be one. Maybe it's like a plugin that you can buy. I mean, you can always go in and throw some grain over it, but that doesn't really count, in my opinion. Only 20 years. Yeah, only 20 years working in the biz. I'm still quite young, but not really. Yes, Vidjo, that was a combination of Russell and Arnold. No, Arnold would be more like, are you not entertained? Kill me, I'm here. Do it. Come on. Get to the chopper. Yeah, I totally do see what happens when I take a week off. Big red bitch. Such a weird name. Yeah, all we have to do is wait a couple weeks. You're totally right, Dana. Okay, let's go full screen on this one. Let's see if this sucker holds up to some scrutiny here. Before, after. Before, after. Yes, no, I know, Big Red Bitch, and I love that name. But an XJ isn't all that big by today's Jeep standards. Poking the beast with that one, I'm sure. Thank you, Ray Rasco, for your submission. Very cool at night photo. Get to the crowd. I'm sure it is. I bet you. You know what? Send me some real pictures of your daily 1-to-1 full size XJ. I'd love to see it. Send them to the submissions email, and I'll take a look at them. Now you got me thinking about those gladiator headlights. In what regard, Moose-ja? Give me some more. Give me some more context on that one. All right, let's do some more photos. Let's stick with this theme, I think, of doing some dusk or night photos. What have we got here? How about this one from Mark White? I think we can make this feel a little bit more like dusk. Another Jeep. Something's wrong. Oh, I'll check your Instagram. All right then. Thank you. Black Sharpie. Yeah, you could do that. What I did was I actually, on the Gladiator, which I can't show you yet. Don't look over there. On the Gladiator, I actually I cut the overspray film and then sprayed it on the outside. Oh, my balls. I remember that because it was only a few days ago. All right, let's get to work on this photo. There's pulling our exposure down, and we're going to go a bit further, and I'm going to do another grad here, and we're going to keep that bluish. Lower the exposure on that. Actually, we're going to tint it even further into the blue there. Keep it saturated. Would that be right? Is that where the sun would go? Or would it go more? I think it'd probably be more like that. Yeah, that's better. Do that instead. Jerp Wrangler. Yeah, Vidjo, you should buy a Jeep. Everyone should buy a Jeep. Joe, you could just mask that off. You could totally do it. Wouldn't be a thing at all. Hey, let's get rid of this fence. Huh? I don't like the look of that fence. Oh boy. This might not work all that well. There. There we go. Huzzah! This is Jeep things, and I do understand. I understand real well. I don't like that one. I'm going to get rid of that. And I'll use my paintbrush tool instead. Give this some more shadow and lower the exposure on that a bit. That's looking pretty cool already. Borrow Josh's brush. Yes, the chip brush gets used all the time. Look at what we're doing. All right, let's go to our HSLs. Where are those? Done, done, done. Saturation on the red. I'm just pulling that down a little bit. I found it to be a little too much. It was like way up here. So let's pull it down there. Get our oranges back up a little bit so that night sky really starts to cook. Who is the noob? I don't know. Oh, pardon my noob. Yeah. Little red lines on the screen again. No. Yes. Where's that coming from? That is so weird. Huh. Thanks for letting me know. That sucks. I'm gonna have to look into that. I just changed the cable too, so it's probably interference from the actual computer. Hi Titus, thanks for checking in, buddy. But I'll look into that. Thank you for letting me know about that. All right. What else? Let's paint in a little bit of lightness there. I'm gonna amp up that saturation. This is the bikini blue Jeep, I think. Just my camera. Yeah, I know. It's so bizarre. I don't like that. I have to look into that. I wonder if it's coming from the box that I'm using. Anyway, enough of that for now. Then I think I'm going to pull down just the wheel. And I just want to bring the exposure down a little bit so it doesn't feel so... it's feeling kind of blue there for some reason. I don't know why. There we go. There we go. Yep. All right, full screen. Before and after. Before, after. Nice photo, Mark. Thank you very much for your submission. If you look at me right now, you can see them. Faint red lines. So strange. Yeah, 1080p, 60-inch TV, that'll do it for sure. Yeah, that's really strange. I will have to look into that. Thank you very much. Anyway, back to photos. Yeah, it's probably just some sort of like technical glitch. I'm not too worried about it. Here's another dusk time photo. This one's from Matthew Rustia, and that's a trail runner from Element RD. Nice looking shot at dusk. Got the headlights on, well, fog lights on, because the body comes off this truck, so they didn't want to put them right on there. Let's go dusk, but a warm dusk for this one. Nick, you can send your photos to submissions@scalebuildersguild.com. The link is in the description. I'm going to lower our exposure, but I am going to bring that truck back up a little bit, I think. Shadows down too. More texture. I'm going to keep the clarity where it is for now. Definitely throw some magenta into the overall white balance. some great skies coming in out of this set of submissions. Much appreciated for you guys taking the time to get out there and take some cool photos. I love it. Just adding some more blue over there. And keep that right where it was. Just painting the truck. Just to give us a bit more of that. And move our exposure up, or our exposure up a little bit. Shadows as well, just so we get a bit more pop off of there. Good one, Vidjo. I see them now. I don't pay any attention to Matt, though, so it's fine. Joel, I'm doing exactly what I do with all the photos you submit right now. We do a photo correction on them. I talk a little bit about how I'm doing that correction, and then I get them sent back to you, and you can use them on Instagram, or you can use them as a desktop photo, or whatever you like. Just about taking your photos and trying to make them a little bit better. Always about tiny trucks, though, at the core of this. Hints of public radio. All right. Got a good voice tonight. I'm feeling good. I actually spent all day talking to my clients over a Zoom call, so I'm surprised I have much of a voice at all. And we probably won't go much longer than an hour or so on tonight's episode, so I can give my voice a bit of a rest. Because I also recorded a video that should be coming out tomorrow as well. So, and then we've got the live stream takeover tomorrow night. So, busyness. It sounds so smooth. He's got that. It's like he's been that sweet Carolina smoke. All right, we're done with that one. Let's do another little painty work here. And then we'll oops, hang on. Leave that one right where it was because I wanted to have a bit more light here. But we'll add another one over here where I actually paint this down a little bit, give it a bit more shadow because obviously the sun's over here. We'll do SBG Pillow Talk where you send your requests and I play Air Supply. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. Let's see full screen for a second. That's a pretty nice looking photo. Before, after. Definitely made it more about Dusk. Reason you ask is Joe Florke. The reason I ask is because I've got a photo of me racing my RC modified. Right. I don't do portraits usually. If it's RC related, I might be able to do something with it, but I generally try to keep the subject to just tiny trucks. Moose Jaw, I'm going to make you an admin or a moderator so we don't have to talk about Air Supply anymore. How about Chris Kraft? we could get out all the old hits. But thank you to Matthew Rustia for sending this photo in. Very much appreciated. Submissions at scalebuildersguild.com if you want to submit your own photos and watch me ruin them for you. Okay, let's see. What else have we got here? What else have we got? I was kind of keen to do that one. Did that one. Oh, I know which one I want to do. There was a camper that got submitted. Where is that? Camper. There it is. This FJ camper from Ryan McKinstry. This is pretty cool. I think he made this camper. Look at that. That is pretty cool. I really like that. He's got all the lights on it. Oh, he should have had the lights on, man. Very cool. Is this an element? Looks like an element. I believe that might be an element. Could be. But very nice camper on an FJ40 style body. This might be scratch built as well. Very nicely done, Ryan. Thank you for your submission. Let's make this a dusk photo too. Why not? I like it. Yeah, you will need to moderate yourself. Christopher Cross sailing. Oh, it takes me away. Sailing. I don't know the words. Man, I don't know if we can, but let's try to get rid of this quick. That work. Holy hell. Did. Yes. I am a photo wizard. Hey, you know what we haven't done yet? We did a crop already. So let's do a vignette. Nice big heavy vignette. Yeah. I'm feeling it. I like these wheel rings. I just ordered some of these from Locked Up RC the other day. I hope that Patrick gets them in the mail nice and soon. Let's go warm. That's better. Photoshop some people inside. Help me. Thinking about an SBG Discord server. Overland RC, explain to me what Discord is. Is it like just a discussion page where people just talk about things? Yeah, Josh probably heard the vignette button and he's on his way. Guaranteed. Basically a group chat. Oh, okay. Hey, I would sanction that. I'll create one. Why not? Get on the Discord. Talk about stuff. Yes, I've seen Locked Up's new wheels. I did order a bunch of his rings to put on other wheels because I've got a problem. Way too many wheels in my collection. I am going to lower the saturation of that red ever so slightly. It is popping. It's popping, yo. Popping off. Let's do a little of this here. Just brighten up our camper truck doodads. Go in there too. Get our saturation back up. And our highlights back up a little bit. Exposure a little bit too. Sailing. Yeah, it's like who touched the thermostat? So I got a sweater on. Didn't want to touch the thermostat. All right, let's go to our HSLs. Pull the orange up. Need our yellow a little bit. Yellow. Just changing our hue of our red there a little bit. Yeah, man, I think this photo would have been 10 times more killer if the light bar and the side pod lights were on that camper. But I'm digging it. I think it's a pretty nice looking truck. Very, very cool. Great foreground elements too. In fact, we're just going to do that a little bit. Yeah. Cool. I think that one's done too. There you are. Hey, Ryan. Thanks for checking in, buddy. No, hey, don't even worry about it. I think this is a great photo. This WAP Customs and Repair, this is not a contest. You are free to submit your photos anytime. All I do is edit them, and we choose a winner of the week at the end. But not at all a contest. Certainly, there are no winners and there are no losers. There's the full screen on that shot. Nice looking truck, Ryan. I'm really quite pleased with it. And I hope you are too. It looks really good. Before, after. Before, after. I think that looks pretty good. I like it a lot. Overland, I can't add a sunset. If there isn't a sunset in there, I won't be able to do it. Yes, exactly, Nathan's RC Garage. Everyone's a winner on this show. One more before and one more after. Oh, yes. No, Josh is always the loser. That's very cool photo. Thank you very much for your submission. Much appreciated. Let's do, what time is it? 9:20. Let's do another one. Holy cow, another Jeep. What is going on? I can imagine that's probably a lot of PLA, but it looks really nicely done, Ryan. You should be very proud of that. This one's from Daniel Painter, another SCX-10 III. There's a lot of SCX-10 IIIs out there. Hey, Dank Painter. Hey, welcome. Or Dan K. Painter. That makes a lot more sense now. Or Dank. Maybe you're Dank. I don't know. Uh, anyway, nice looking photo. Very, very cool. Let's have some fun with this one. I love the foreground out of focus rock here that it's crawling up. Love the background. Very, very nice. Lower our exposure a little bit. That's a lot of hot heat coming off of those yellows and it Dank RC on Instagram. Right on. Okay, I think I've definitely seen your stuff before. Changing the hue on our oranges to make this feel a bit more pinky overall. I'm going to keep the reds pretty much where they are. Yellows, I'm going to change that too. You can see how it's making a difference there. Oh, right before the crawl spaces Halloween event. Very cool. And I'm just playing around with the exposure of the shadows, and I'm going to pull our highlights down too. I think that's looking pretty neat. We'll go in and we'll paint our truck a little bit so we get to see a little bit more of it, even though that naturally wouldn't occur because the light's behind you. We're going to assume the flash was on. All right. Actually, I'm pulling exposure or a saturation out of the truck. And we'll go in and finish with that mask. Texture. What's the next button? Clarity. I'm not going to go too harsh on the clarity because I actually kind of like things being a little bit softer. That's already feeling pretty good. Heavy vignette. And I'm going to increase our vibrance a little bit, but lower our saturation. And the luminance, this is the one thing I wanted to try to play with a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to hold up. You can see it's really mucking up the sky there when I try to change the luminance of the yellow. So what I'm going to do is that, and kind of just be happy with that. You sneeze. Excuse me. Ah, that's looking pretty cool already. Let's do a little more paint work here. Just gonna keep our exposure or saturation where it is. Lower our exposure and our contrast. And throw some more warmth into that, just so we kind of help center the eye a little bit. Hey, Matt, any particular reason the crossovers are getting later in the day or just luck of the draw? Are you talking about Lightroom or live stream takeover with Josh and I? Those are always at 9 p.m. Eastern time. That has not changed at all, ever. All 35-ish weeks of it. Body colors Tamiya Gold. Okay. Champagne, right. So, you know what? Why don't we just go back in there and toss some slight warmth back in? There we go. Thank you. That's great. That's cool. All right. Full screen on that. Before, after. Another nice dusk nighttime shot. I'm loving it. Before, after. That's not how many sneezes I've had, Vidjo. That's probably like 4 total. Before, after. That dot will go away. There, gone. All right. Very nice photo. Thank you very much, Dan. Really appreciate that submission. That looks really awesome. Nighttime shot. Ooh, John Darrigan. Yeah, I know I saw that somewhere in here. TRX6. I know I saw it because I was like, I regarded to myself, that is a good photo. Where could it be? Shoot. I remember seeing it going, yeah, I'm going to have to get to that one. That'll probably be the last one tonight because I did say I'd bookend it with a Toyota. So let's find that pic. That it? This is it, isn't it? No, that's Dan Painter as well. It is a Toyota, but I just did one of Dan's photos. I don't want to do 2. I wonder where it could be. There it is. I found it. Perfect. Nathan's RC Garage. I don't remember seeing any Defenders. Actually, there's a couple in there, but I'm going to end with this photo tonight because this one looks like a pretty good challenge. This was definitely shot at night with a flash. So let's see what we can do here. A couple of driver figures. That's good. TF2, it looks to be. Yep. Nice leaf sprung Toyota. Let's see what we can do with this one here. I think we'll keep it warm. The flash is going to be difficult to work with, I think. See what we can do here. Yes, Bo. Yours is definitely in there too. We'll get to it at some point. You have to bear with me while I go through the backlog here. And Overland, yes, I saw your photos came in as well. I think we'll get to as many as we can over the coming weeks. I'm not going to try to take. Hopefully my work schedule isn't too crazy over the next little while, and we can get to more photos every week. This is going to be a challenge, John. Just so we're all clear. It's almost super dark now. Well, you know what? Maybe we can make this work. Actually, Now it feels like it's almost lit by a spotlight, which I think actually works pretty well. Yeah, Blair Witch Project. That's a good way of looking at it. Good analysis. We're just going to amp up the blue a little bit. Give us some more texture and a little more clarity. Nope. I'm going to keep the clarity where it is. Go a little bit harder on the texture. And then what I'll do here is see if we can't some warmth into those headlights. There's not a lot of information there, so do the best we can with what we've got. Well, maybe they're just new headlights. Yeah, that feels pretty cool, though. Definitely a different look. What happened to the idea of editing one section the whole live stream? Yeah, I know. I kind of guess I'm going all over the place, but I did want to do all kind of night shots for this specific week. So, next week we'll just start from the beginning of the list and go through them all. As many as we can, anyway. Yeah, I think this actually is looking really good. Definitely a different difference from where we were before and after. Before, after. Definitely more moody, certainly more drama. I think that works pretty well. All right. So I think that's probably going to do it for this week. Thanks, John, for your submission. Much appreciated. Nice looking truck. And I hope that I made it look a little more interesting for you there. Let's go through what we've done this week. Show me what you've done. Here's the first one here. Matthew Rustia, Trail Runner. And let me know what you think is your photo of the week. Got that one there from Matt. Oh yeah, before and after. Before, after. Mark White's JL. Before, after. Before, after. Hey, another Jeep. This one's from Dan Painter. Before, after. I think this one's definitely got a vote from me. I think that's a pretty great photo. Looks pretty neat. Great location too. We've got this one here from Low Life RC. Before and after. Also a very cool shot. The one we just did from John Derrigan. Before, after. Dana's JL. Before, after. Before, after. That one is pretty cool. Very artistic. Ryan McKinstry's FJ. Before, after. Another Jeep. I did a lot of Jeeps tonight. This one's from Ray Rasco. Before, after. Before and after. And finally, the one we started tonight off with, Richard's Toyota, which was not shot at night, but I had to include it. He sent it my way And I was like, oh, yes, definitely before, after, before, after. So pick your favorites. Let me know which one you thought was the best one of the night. And I'd say that's a probably great place to end it. Thank you so much, everybody, for your submissions. Again, if you want to submit submissions at scalebuildersguild.com. And I go through these every week, and I send back the corrected ones the night of the new episode. So most people would have probably gotten theirs today. But we'll keep doing this show. I get a lot of great support and feedback from you guys, and I always really appreciate doing this. So hopefully I'm teaching you something at the same time. And then maybe one of these nights we'll even do a little editing on the video side and see if anybody's into that. So there you go. Thank you so much. We'll see you again tomorrow night for live stream takeover with that clown Josh, whatever his name is. All I know is he smells. Have a great night, everybody. Take care.